So you're thinking of moving to Columbus, Ohio in 2023, but you don't even know if you can afford to live here? Well, stay tuned because in today's video, I'm giving you a complete breakdown of the cost of living in Columbus, Ohio in 2023. You will not want to miss it. Before we get into this video, I quickly wanted to mention I am a licensed realtor here in Columbus, Ohio. As much as I love making these videos for you guys, I would love to help you more with your real estate needs. My information will be on the screen and in the description below. We get phone calls every single day from people just like you watching this video, ready to make the move to Columbus, Ohio. With that being said, let's get straight into the video. There is no secret that the cost of living and the cost of housing across the nation has skyrocketed over the past few years. Columbus, Ohio is no different in terms that everything has gone up, but Columbus, Ohio is still very affordable. Columbus, Ohio is 10% cheaper overall to live here than the national average when looking at other US states. When it comes to housing, it is 20% cheaper than the national average. Utilities, it is 7% cheaper. Transportation, it is 3% cheaper. So as you can see, Columbus, Ohio, as home prices have risen and the cost of living has risen everywhere, Columbus, Ohio is no different, but it is still more affordable than most metropolitan areas across the United States that people are considering relocating to. So I just quickly wanted to mention that Columbus, Ohio is still very affordable, but home prices and the cost of living are expected to rise just like every major metropolitan area across the United States. So if you're watching this video, do not expect to buy a home for $100,000 when you come here. If you want to be in a good suburb with a good school district and buy a home for your family, you will have to spend some money. You will not be able to find $100,000 homes like I mentioned, like you could in 2008. So, wanted to get that out of the way. Let's start with the cost of housing here in Columbus, Ohio. The median home sale as of March 2023 was $286,000. When you compare this to California, the median home price was over $790,000. As you can see, that is a huge gap. And I know California is one of the more expensive states, but a lot of people are moving from California to Ohio. So I wanted to give you that general comparison so you can see how affordable Columbus, Ohio housing is. Whether you're looking to build a new construction home or buy an existing home, your money will go a lot further than if you would move to a state like New York, Chicago, California, Florida. Those areas have really gotten really expensive. And Columbus, Ohio, compared to those, are still much more affordable to buy a home. But do not wait on the sidelines because like I said, Columbus, Ohio and its economic growth is skyrocketing. Many people are seeing the trends and are moving here. So home prices and the cost of living will go up, especially housing. So if you wait 5 to 10 years, Columbus, Ohio may be expensive like these other markets that I just mentioned. Just wanted to put that out there. Buy a home as soon as you can in 2023 in Columbus, Ohio before prices go up. The next aspect of cost of living that I wanted to touch on was transportation. Columbus, Ohio is very affordable when it comes to transportation. The average gallon per gas as of March 2023 was $3.42. When you compare that to the national average, it is way more affordable to drive around here and fill up your car with gas than it would be in bigger states. So I highly recommend if you come to Columbus, Ohio, just budget for that. Why it is more affordable, a lot of people, if you're like me, we drive a lot. So we fill up our tank. This is an expense that is often overlooked. So many people focus on housing, but they don't focus on transportation costs. And if you don't have a car, don't worry. Columbus, Ohio has a great busing system. It's called Dakota, the Central Ohio Transit Authority. And a month pass for unlimited rides is $62. Or you can get a day pass for $450. I highly recommend, if you don't have a car, that you just get the monthly pass for $62. That is really affordable. And if you don't want to do that, we have Ubers, we have Lyfts. So there's plenty of ways to get around town. Now, depending on the time of day and where you're at, determine how much an Uber ride will be, just like anywhere you go across the nation. So I highly recommend you just factor that cost in for transportation when you do move here. It is much more affordable to fill up your tank here than it would be in another big state where gas prices are really high. Let's talk about groceries. If you're like me, you love food. So when I go to the grocery store, I usually shop at either Costco, Trader Joe's, or Whole Foods in my area. And I usually spend around $100 to $150 per week. Now keep in mind, I do shop organic sometimes, guys. So if you don't shop organic, you can expect to spend a little bit less. But I would say if you're a single person buying groceries, eating in every single day, you expect to budget around $100 to $150 a week. Now, this is just my personal experience from buying my groceries. Now, if you have a family, I will say my friend just said she spent $350 to feed her and her 3 kids. So grocery really just depends on how much food you're gonna buy and where you buy it. If you shop at Myers or Kroger, it's gonna be more affordable than if you shop at a Whole Foods or an organic grocery store like a Trader Joe's, a Fresh Time. So just keep that in mind. How many people you have to feed and how much groceries you're going to buy per week will ultimately depend on how much you spend at the grocery store. Now, when it comes to eating out, in my opinion, Columbus, Ohio, it just depends, but I usually spend around $10 to $15 if I go to a Chipotle or anywhere like for quick food. Now, if I go to a fine dining restaurant here in Columbus, Ohio, expect to spend $50 to $100 for a really nice meal, a steak dinner or a nice pasta dinner at a nice restaurant in the Short North or the German Village area. Expect to budget that in. So if you go out to eat a lot, you will be spending more money here in Columbus, Ohio. Just wanted to factor that in. Let's talk about healthcare and the affordability around that. Here in Columbus, Ohio, expect to budget around $100 to $200 per doctor visit. Now, as always, this varies depending what company you work for and what insurance package you have, but usually expect to pay a deductible around $100 to $200 when you go to the doctor's or the dentist office. That's just being what I've experienced here in Columbus, Ohio. You may have a different experience where you live at, but if you come here, that's what you can expect. As you can see, Columbus, Ohio is very affordable. If you live in a bigger state and you're watching this, I bet you're thinking, I can't believe how affordable Columbus, Ohio actually is. So this is one benefit of living in Columbus, Ohio. A lot of people come here because the affordability to raise a family, to start a business, whatever you want to do, Columbus, Ohio is typically going to be more affordable than the bigger states that you may have considered moving to. Like I mentioned earlier, Columbus, Ohio is a great place to live, very affordable. So I highly encourage you, if you consider moving here, reach out to me directly. My number is 614-719-9823. Let's talk about getting you in the right area and the right situation where it's affordable for you. Now, I will say this, depending on where you live, also will determine how expensive an area will be. If you want to live in the suburbs, that may be a little bit higher than if you live in Columbus, Ohio. But if you live in the heart of downtown Columbus, where everything is, where the downtown, where the nightlife is, where the sporting events are, where the hottest clubs are, the hottest restaurants, expect to spend more for a higher rise condo than you would a 2-bedroom home downtown. Obvious, it really just depends on the lifestyle you want to live. You can make Columbus, Ohio more affordable or not affordable, depending on how you want to live. To wrap this video up, you can see Columbus, Ohio is very affordable. Now, depending on the lifestyle you want to live, Columbus, Ohio can be more expensive or less expensive. But if you're just an average person coming to Columbus, Ohio, I guarantee you, bang for your dollar, Columbus, Ohio is way more affordable than many states you have considered moving to. It's a great place to live. It's very affordable in major categories that matter to most people, such as transportation, grocery and food costs, healthcare, housing, anything you can think of. Columbus, Ohio is very affordable. The national averages show this. Columbus, Ohio is only going to continue to get more expensive. But if you're considering moving here, please give me a call at 614-719-9823. I would love to help you find a home here, or if you just have any questions about anything else in the affordability of Columbus, Ohio, I would love to help you with that as well. Until next time, guys, I hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon.